Hi, let's see how to deploy Angular and ASP.NET Core application using the AWS LightSail instance, which is Ubuntu. So let's start with creating a Angular and ASP.NET Core project. You have to confirm that whether you have installed Visual Studio Community in your local machine. So let's start to create a project. Open your Visual Studio Community and click on create a new project. So here we are focused on Angular and ASP.NET Core. So you can see Angular and ASP.NET Core project here. So select it and give next. We are going to name the solution, just we can keep it as demo web. I'm naming it as demo web app. You can choose your location as you wish. So in local disk C, I'm putting it in src folder. So this will create a new folder, demo web app, and inside it there will be the solution and the projects. So I'm clicking next. So here everything is fine. It is .NET 8.0, and then we no need a Docker here. So we are going to use HTTP. So let's uncheck this. Okay, we enable the OpenAPI source and use controllers. All are fine. So I'm going to create a project. So here we are. The project is created. You can see the right side. The solution name is demo web app. So it has created a client and server project. So in client we will be focused on Angular UI. In server there is a controller for weather forecast as default. So the controller is our weather forecast. It has some values which can be randomized. So let's check the program.cs file. So you can see we unchecked the HTTPS, so there is no HTTPS here. If you fail to uncheck the HTTPS there, just go to program files and command the HTTPS redirection. So everything is fine. Let's check whether the project runs. So it is building the project. It is taking some time to build and run the project. So you can see in the localhost 5033 is serving the Swagger index.html. So this is a controller weather forecast. When we execute, we will get the values here. So it is working fine. So this is the UI, the Angular output. So we are getting the output. You can see when I refresh, it is changing the values. These are the random values generated. Okay, this thing is working well and fine. So what we are going to do is we want to set up the startup project, right? You can configure the startup project. So it is a multiple startup project, so when we start the project we will automatically load this both projects. Now to deploy this application we have to publish it. So how to publish application? So right click on the server application and you can see option called publish. Click on publish. So you will be redirected to here. So you want to choose the target. I'm choosing it as a folder and I'm giving next. So it will automatically generate a location to publish. So let's use this location and give finish. So it is ready to publish, but we want to do a little setup here. So go to the settings of the publish. So target framework, right? It's okay. Deployment mode, we want to do it as a self-contained project. The target runtime we are using is like Linux. So check this box, delete all existing file prior to publish. When you do some changes and publish it again, it will delete the old files and it will override it. Okay, I have saved. Now it is ready to publish. So everything is well. I'm clicking publish here. So it is building. While building, it will generate the DLL files and these DLL files will be saved in our publish folder. So I'm giving open folder. So here you can see these are the files which have been published. So our app is demo webapp. So this is the file which will serve the server application, and for client we can go to www browser. So here is an index file which will give the output of the Angular UI. So next we will learn how to create a LightSail instance using AWS. Now we are going to see about how to create an instance using AWS LightSail. So you should have a AWS account to get access to the LightSail. So LightSail is one of the service from AWS. So in LightSail we are going to create an instance. So choose your location. After choosing your location you should select a platform. So we are going to use Linux platform. Then select the operating system as Ubuntu. 22.04 is the latest version of the Ubuntu, so I'm selecting this one. After this I'm going to select a size. So this is going to cost $5 per month. This has 1 GB memory and 40 GB of SSD, which is more than enough. So I'm naming the LightSail instance as Ubuntu AC demo. So adding key values makes sense, like when it is created, who created this one, all those things. So created on 2023-03. 14 created for deploy application. So I have added a key value tags, so I'm clicking on create instance. So you can see our instance is getting ready, so the status is pending. So you can see the tag values which I have given here, created by, created on, just for reference. So this is our instance and this is our IP. So this is how to create an instance in AWS LightSail. So we have created an instance using AWS LightSail. So now let's set up the instance. So to set up the instance, we need to install Nginx, .NET SDK and .NET Runtime. So let's go to our instance. Click on this terminal icon. It will open your Ubuntu terminal. So here I just switched to a sudo user. So now I'm in home directory. So from here, let's start to install the things. Like first we can install our Nginx server. So the command apt get update will update our Ubuntu instance. I will keep it in the right side, and let's have our document at left side. So you can see it have been updated. So now we can say get apt get install Nginx. So this will install our Nginx server. Yes, our Nginx server has been installed. The next step is like we are going to install the SDK and runtime. So I'm installing the .NET SDK now. It has been installed. Let's update again and try to install the ASP.NET runtime. Oh, it is up to date. So now we can install the runtime. So it is also installed. It is saying that it is already the newest version. Runtime manually installed. Okay, so everything is fine now. So we have set it up our Ubuntu by installing the Nginx, .NET SDK and the runtime. So next step is like we should create a target directory to securely copy the files from our local machine to the Ubuntu instance. So I'm going to use the SRV folder. So to use this folder for copying the files, I need access. So root will not allow me to copy the files. So let's change the owner to Ubuntu. Sudo change owner Ubuntu SRV. So I have run this command. So you can see this SRV has the owner root. After running this command, if I check, you can see the owner has been changed to Ubuntu. So we have set the target folder as SRV and we change the owner. Now let's focus how to copy the files securely from our local machine to the cloud instance. So to do that, we can use WinSCP application. To install WinSCP, you can go to Google, give download WinSCP. So this is official site. You can go in and by just clicking this you can install the setup. After installing the setup, you can install it to your machine. So already I have installed WinSCP, so I'm opening it. So let's delete this. Okay, we are going to, so when you open your WinSCP, it will be look like this. First of all, it will ask for a login. So let's set up our Ubuntu machine using the SSH key. So I'm going to the instance I have created, click on option, manage. So when I scroll to the bottom, I can see download default key. This thing use the default SSH key for this region, so I'm downloading this key. So it is downloaded, you can see it here. So the one thing which I want to say is you have to install putty software. It is also available in Google. You can search download putty. So here it is. So download putty, select your machine's configuration, like it is 64-bit, so you can install this one. So install putty, which is used to generate our key. So you can see this is a PEM key, so I'm using putty SSH key generation utility. So I want a private key now, so I'm giving save private key. All files, click on this. I'm just renaming it and giving save. Okay, now you can see it generated our private key here. So now I'm going to SCP. So it is asking for hostname. Hostname is nothing but the IP address. Copy the IP address, use it as hostname. You can see the username is Ubuntu. There is no password, just go to advanced, go to authentication, here, go to authentication. In authentication you should select a private key, so click on this. So here is our latest private key which we have downloaded and generated. Open this and then say OK. So you can save it. I'm saving it. So I have saved it here and it is been loaded. So now I'm giving login. Okay, accept. Now it has been connected to my this thing. So let me check it is active. Okay, it's active. So I'm going to win SCP. So you can see the left side, this is my local machine. So where is my project? So the demo web application is the project we have created. So in bin is .NET publish. So this is the directory which holds the www root, which is Angular, and then these are all things from server side. So I'm selecting all. So here I want to paste it in as we set up the SRV folder as target. So I'm going to put all the files here in SRV. In the this right side is the cloud Ubuntu instance. So I'm selecting all and clicking upload. There is 334 files to remote directory SRV. Okay. So now it's being uploaded from a local to the remote server. Let's go to our instance and check. cd srv ll. Okay, I got all the files here. So this is how you will use the WinSCP to do secure copy using the SSH key from local to the remote machine. So the next step is we are going to configure our Nginx server. After that we are going to start our application using a service. So let's configure our Nginx. So I'm going to my Ubuntu terminal. Switching to the sudo user. The exact location where the Nginx configuration is cd / in etc there is Nginx and sites enabled. When I list it, we can see a default, right? So the default file has the configuration. So if I give sudo nano default, I'll be able to see the configuration. So all those lines are commanded here, only the white lines has the coding. So here the server block is started. So this is listening to the port 80. So you can see this 6 dots, right? This is for IPv6 configuration. So where it is listening means it is listening to the root of this directory. Inside where www.html it is listening. So it is looking for index.html. So it will search in the HTML folder for the below given suggestions, like it will search for index first. So if it is not available, it will search for index.html, index.html and so on. So hopefully there will be an index.html file from the client side, so it will serve the index.html file. So this is a location block. In location block we are saying like try files. First it will try URI and then URI / and if there is nothing, then it will return 404, which is not found. So that's all the actual configuration. So let's change the configuration. So that is default. Let's rename it default to backup OG. So I have renamed it, so I'm going to create a new service file, sudo nano default. So after opening the default, I have pasted the service. So the service I have already written. So here it starts with the server block. Inside the server block we have given a server name. The IP address is given as the server name. You can see here, this is our IP address. I have used it as the server name. So this is a location block. If the location block after the IP address, if it is /client, it will serve the index.html. So you can see alias var www.html client. This is the location where the HTML index.html is located. So the try files will try the URI first, which is location IP address /client, and then location IP address /client /index.html, and it will serve the index.html page. After this, I have given a configuration as location /API /proxy pass HTTP localhost 5000. We have created a service file which is running in the port 5000. So if we give location /API the controller name, it will serve the server, which is the controller called weather forecast, by proxy passing, which means it is already running in the port 5000. It will make a fake, or it will make a copy and you show it in the port 5000. So this is how it will work. Let's restart the Nginx, sudo service Nginx restart. So it is restarted. So the another thing we missed is, like, we want to copy our Angular client to our remote instance. So let's go to WinSCP. So as you can see, in our application there is a client. In client there is a distributed file. So inside this browser, so these are all the things will give the output of client side. So the path where I'm going to paste this is from var www and HTML. So I'm selecting everything and giving upload. So everything is securely moved to the remote machine. Let's check it. cd space var HTML. When I give ll, so everything is copied here. So everything is fine. Let's restart the Nginx again. Now let's go to our IP address and check. So normally when we run this one, it will go to Nginx home page. When I give /client, it will go to the client page. So it is not giving any values here because there is some reason. So if I give API /weather forecast, you can see it is running, but there is no connection between the API and the client, because in our coding in proxy pass we have not written this as API /weather forecast. If we check app.component.ts, there is also, we have not written as API /weather forecast. So we want to change it. So in app.component.ts I have changed it. Go to proxy.configuration.js. So here also change it as API. Save it. Publish it again. So delete existing file I have given true, so it will override the existing file. So after doing SCP, we have to start our .NET service. After starting, we have to check whether it is working. So it is working fine. So now let's restart our Nginx and then try again. So if I go to this IP address, it is showing welcome to Nginx. So if I give /client, it should give me the Angular UI, but here it is empty, nothing is shown here. So let's check whether server is working or not. AP/weather forecast. So our server is working. So let's find why the client is not working. Inspect, check. So we can clearly see it is saying 404 not found. So the reason is because, let's check our index.html is in the right path. So cd space var www.html client. If I give ll, so that is index.html. The only thing we missed is like we want to edit our index.html. Nano index.html. So here you can see the base is simply home /. So instead of / we want to give /client/. So I'm saving this, Ctrl O, enter and Ctrl X. After this, let's restart our Nginx. Let's check the status. So it's on. Let's go back here, refresh the page. So now you can see the values coming properly. So there is no errors. So when I give IP address, it is going to Nginx page. And when I click client, it's going to a client page and it's returning a value. When I refresh, it is changing value which is coming from the server side. So let's check the server side. AP/weather forecast. So the server is also working properly. So this is how we will deploy our Angular and ASP.NET Core application using Nginx server. Thank you.